I can make any guitar sound like any guitar I want. Mike Bloomfield said that to me. When I had remarked to him how much I thought his Black Fender Strat sounded like a Les Paul when he played it. No false modesty there. Not that I'd expect that much of that from the guy that gave himself a nickname, Count Talent. But he was very quotable. One time I asked him, what kind of scales he used in there? He goes, major scales, I think. Then he'd go on and on ranting about these things called modes. Modes, man, you gotta get hip to modes. Are you hip to modes? I said, well, I was not hip to modes then. In fact, I'm probably still not hip to modes. Anyhow, growing up in Daly City, you could hear all kinds of great guitar players, even in the 18 and over type places. For us, it was Winterland. Go there all the time. And we see Jerry Garcia with the Grateful Dead, Elvin Bishop. Had Johnny Vernazza playing guitar with him, also from Daly City. And Roy Buchanan, Allman Brothers, John Cipollina from Quicksilver, and guys like that. There was Tim Barnes. Was a guy who played with Stonegrind. I liked him a lot. But my first young experience with up close and personal with a bona fide rock star, to me, was Mike Bloomfield. There was a bar called the Old Waldorf. Now, it moved downtown to Battery Street, became very well known, kind of a long history there. But the place I'm referring to is the place that, well, subsequent to that, we would have to refer to as the Old Waldorf. It was out on California Divisadero. As I called it in my cab days, Cal Diviz. And that place even had a long history. Before that, it was kind of an incense and patchouli hippie coffee house called the Family Pharmacy. That's for those of you with really long memories. Anyway, Bloomfield settled into this regular kind of residency, I guess you'd call it. He played there every week. And I try and be there whenever I could. He had a great band. He had Mike, had Nick Gravenides, Nick the Greek, a star in his own right. Mark Napflin from the Butterfield Band, Roger Troy, they called him Jelly Roll on bass. Drummer who sang Bob Jones. And I was this wide-eyed college kid. I probably still had my fakest fake ID that I'm sure every waitress in the place knew was a fake, and we'd get there early enough to sit down right in front, see if I could figure out what was going on. Bloomfield was taken to task at one point for he had those forays into that eastern. It was considered very advanced. It was probably too advanced for me. I was never that big a fan of that stuff myself. I just wanted to hear him play blues. And with this band, that's what they did, No outer space, 20-minute raga things. Just regular blues. And it was eye-opening, it was ear-opening. And now that I look back, I'd say what it mostly was exciting. He was the most exciting guitar player I had ever seen. And I know this has been said before, apart from moments on like Super Session, Highway 61, the Bob Dylan stuff, I never felt what I heard him do live was ever adequately captured on record. You know, it just never seemed to do justice to seeing him live. And I've been wondering about as to why this is, you know. One time a guitar player, a really good guitar player, and I might add a very successful one, said to me, I never play anything on stage that I don't already know through and through. Now this gave me pause because this was a bit of a challenge for me, I thought, too. You know, because I'd play something 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It'd be different every time, you know. You don't really know that until you start recording yourself a lot. And, but I don't know if you'd call it a bad memory or maybe a learning disability now. I know other guys that had it, but and I don't know if Mike Bloomfield had some of that too, maybe, you know. But the other thing, of course, was that he was always going out on a limb. He was always pushing, pulling the music and his playing. Probably maybe more than beyond his comfort zone, beyond his ability a little bit. And so there was this tension in that maybe it doesn't translate onto a record as well as it did live. But live, it was, maybe it was like seeing a high wire guy in a circus, you know, without a net. Is he gonna make it? You know, that kind of thing. Anyway, Bloomfield was also really a bit of a musicologist and a student of many blues styles. You know, Chicago blues certainly, but also your more rural type styles. He did one record, it was actually an instructional record, which I believe he thought was his best playing. He covered a lot of those styles. And at the Waldorf, when the band would take a break, he would pick up an acoustic guitar and start doing some of that back porch rural blues. And that's when I really pay attention. On one of the songs on that record, he name checks about 100 guitar players that he'd studied that influenced him. Here's a song by one of them, Mississippi John Hurt. It's called Ain't No Telling. Was cut in 1928, which coincidentally is the very year that this guitar, this little acoustic parlor guitar, was built. Don't you let my good girl catch you here. Don't you let my good girl catch you here. Well, she might shoot you, make her dance, stab you too. Ain't no telling just what she might do. I'm up the country with the cold, sleet, and snow. I'm up the country with the cold, sleet, and snow. Up the country with the cold, sleet, and snow. Ain't no telling how much further I may go. Eat my breakfast here, dinner in Tennessee. Breakfast here, dinner in Tennessee. Eat my breakfast here, my dinner in Tennessee. I told you I was coming, baby, won't you look for me? So that's a little memory of Mike Bloomfield. Never got his due on record, in my opinion. But this record is called If You Love These Blues, Play 'Em As You Please. And if you love your family and your friends, wear your mask. Not that big a deal. As this too shall pass. And we'll all go back to playing live gigs. Thanks, Mike. That's it for now. See you later.